Hey everyone, this is Level With Me. This is my level design show where I play through games and talk about what I think is going on in the level design. And right now we are about in the middle of BioShock. No, past the middle, maybe like more like 2/3 through BioShock. Let's see where we were. So, just finished. Well, last week we went through this whole section called Hephaestus, which was like supposedly like the bottom of BioShock, where it meets the oh god, what's happening? Where it meets the sea floor, and what's I doing? Oh, I think I have to go in here. And we shut down a bunch of stuff, and now we can finally look at all that stuff. I did that. Look at all that stuff explode. Oh, the game is too loud. Okay, hold on. Huh, I thought I was at the same volume. Okay. Okay, how about... Okay, how about now? Hopefully that's better. Okay, so... we are in the middle of BioShock. I blew up this generator thing. So now that I blew up this generator thing, we can now go meet Andrew Ryan, who's been set up as like this big villain character throughout the entire game. So let's go ahead and do that. And there's a helpful sign to remind us what we're doing and what we're doing.
Though my physical defenses fall, you'll not defeat
Oh, now the
me.
licorice whip is glowing.
My
Wow.
strength is not in skill and fire, but in my intellect and will. You hear me, Atlas? Andrew Ryan offers you nothing but ashes.
Oh, this guy. Oh, I don't have any ammo. Ow. There we go. Oh, I'm low on E, but I need. I don't know where a vending machine is. What am I doing? Okay. Then I have to go back up here. One thing that happened was the room. With this whole room, it happened like, what happened was I kind of came through this whole area before, and is there a vending machine here? And what happened was that we came through here, and then we walked this way, and then we walked up to this platform. This is what happened like a week or two ago, and we came up to this door, and it was locked. And then we were informed that we had to go to that other section that was just in Hephaestus to go over here to the Hephaestus core to break that generator and destroy everything. And now we can finally come back and unlock this big door, this big epic sign and everything, that big fisting icon. I do like how there's been like this huge like world state change here with the level. The level before was like more like orange and stuff. You can see outside that skybox used to be much more like orange and stuff. But now all the lighting's like blue because I broke the generator, so now there's like electricity sparking everywhere, or maybe all the lights have turned off because I turned off the generator. So now, yeah, I'm not sure why blue, but I guess it's so you notice the big color change in the world state. And this is something that BioShock already pulled a few weeks ago in the Arcadia chapter. There was this whole big thing where you'd initiate this big change in world state, and it would change all the fog and global lighting and stuff. So yeah, I like it when games do that, because it does make you feel like you have more like control or like agency over the whole environment, and like the world state in the world is like responding to you. But anyway, let's keep going. I have to pull that switch. I don't know what that does. Oh, and then that blows these things up. And now I can walk.
In the end, all that matters to me is me. And all that matters to you is you. It is the nature of things.
And now we're kind of coming up to like the big twist, the big moment, the big climax of BioShock. BioShock exists within like a tradition of Shock games, and especially if you've played games like System Shock 2, where there's also like a big climactic meeting and change halfway through the game. So BioShock is also like existing in that tradition where there's going to be this big climactic meeting and then like a big twist that happens. So if you haven't played BioShock, I won't spoil it for you, except that a moment is coming, a reckoning is coming. Ooh, I really like this big centerpiece in the middle. This is nice.
I know I cannot raise my hand against you, but know this.
It's kind of interesting how he's doing. Is that all modeled? I'm gonna switch to wireframe mode. Oh god, it's hard to tell what's happening though.
You can kill me, but you will never have.
So again, a brief explanation about what's happening with wireframe mode. Sorry, there's a lot of exposition and story going on. The white wireframe is like the base shell of the level. We usually call that BSP or brushes. And then all the blue teal stuff is the static meshes, like details and set dressing you add on top of the foundation of the level. And then also you can probably see the yellow wireframe right here. The yellow wireframe is, I guess, dynamic meshes that change and animate. So here you can see these like wires are kind of twisting around and my gun is like moving around and animating. That's why those wireframes are more yellow or gold than blue. Anyway, I just missed what was happening. I guess he like did something. I guess he blew something up or something. I don't know. Let's go. I really like the machinery here. I really like it when I like one of my best like how can I put this? Like when you're modeling something mechanical, I like how you can do stuff like this. How you kind of have these like ribs, all these like cross sections and stuff. And when you repeat that like simple shape over and over, that kind of helps communicate its like mechanicalness, right? You wouldn't have repetition of this part and this part and this part and this part in nature, so it helps kind of sell that's like this mechanical, repeated, like artificial structure. What does this machine actually do? I don't know. Maybe it like does this even look like anything? I guess it looks like some kind of engine. It's not really clear. It doesn't really matter what it actually does, right? What matters is that it looks like some kind of complicated machine. So you know, you don't have to think too much about it, but a little bit of like repeating a form helps sell the mechanicalness of it. What else is going on here? I like the dynamic lighting here. Notice how much there's all this blinking blue stuff going on. I really like the verticality in this room. The fog is pretty nice too. A lot of vertical fog that help really sell like this feeling of vastness in this giant like climactic room. A lot of nice screen shake. Gotta love that screen shake. But there's also like in every corner of this room there's also like a blinking red light. That's kind of like a special Unreal thing a little bit, because you know, if you play Quake or Half-Life, in those kinds of game engines, all the light mapping is baked, so you can't really have nice flickering. Actually, these are really these aren't really flickering. They're like smoothly pulsing in like a nice, pleasant way. I should probably buy some stuff. Film. Should I buy film? No, I don't think so. I think I'll save my money for buying stuff, other things. Do I need to do anything else? Am I supposed to go in here? No. I should vent something. And some electric gel. And oh right, wait, so this is like a self-destruct mode? I wasn't really following. I mean, it looks like it's about to self-destruct, whatever this is. Whatever this machine is doing. It looks like it's not in good shape. Let's see, what else is going on in this room? I like how there's like a subtle use of height here. Notice how there's stairs right here. This whole machine in the middle is up on this raised platform right here. So when I walk up, it kind of does lead my eye up a little bit. And then that's when that's when it helps me notice all this other stuff going on too. So again, one frequently used trick, if you want the player to look up, try to have some stairs or ramps that go up, and that kind of helps lead the player's eyes up. What else is going on here? Let's see. I like these terminals. This looks pretty kit-bashed though. This doesn't look like it was purpose made by environment artisans. Or maybe it was, who knows? Let's see, what else is going on in this room? Ooh, I really like this grading. Like, look at that pattern. That's like a really nice kind of Art Deco. It's like an Art Deco mechanical pattern. That's a nice texture right there. Flickering screens. Okay, let's keep going. So obviously this room is more like this staging area, because we just got through all this fighting, and now we enter this big room where there's no fighting, and there's all these kind of just machines, like vending machines and shopping machines to load up and prepare for something. And BioShock does this a few times, especially like before like a big boss fight. There's almost like a shopping area, like a little mall. A week or two ago, we were in a section called Fort Frolic, which was actually supposed to be patterned after a mall, except it didn't really function like a mall, because you weren't really buying anything there. Here, this lobby section almost functions much more like a mall within the game design of BioShock than an environment that we say is a mall. Anyway, let's keep going. Sorry to keep talking. This is just like a really big, interesting one. Which stairwell do I take? Huh. So this one is kind of dark and flickering. I feel like there's not much going on here. What is this? Oh, it's nothing. Huh. I wonder why have this stairwell here if it doesn't lead anywhere. That's kind of interesting. I feel like they needed that stairwell there to give this feeling of symmetry. Notice when I'm standing here, they have this symmetry with two stairwells, so that kind of helps it establish and frame this big important door that we're gonna have to go through, I guess, later. But then what's weird is that this area is just totally unnecessary, right? There's nothing going on here. I like it when I think that's good level design, I would say, to have side areas that aren't important but feel important to the logic of the space. Anyway, I'll go up these stairs. What else am I doing? Oh, am I not going over there? I guess I'm not going over there. I guess I have to go in this vent? To draw your attention to that vent, they also have this particle effect with this like spark going on. Notice how everything else is relatively low frequency, like the pulses are relatively low frequency. There's not that much like flickering stuff going on. Meanwhile, this light is like very flickery. And this is a trick that a lot of games use to like try to use sparks to, oh, the game is telling me to get a hint. The game thinks I'm stuck. Like if you play like Half-Life or something, you'll also see Half-Life use sparks in this way to try to draw your attention. Anyway, let's go in here. It even has a really loud little annoying sound too. Oh, what's this? Is this the right way to go? Oh. I didn't know what I was supposed to do there. Good thing I shot it. Okay. Now I'm down here. What was that? Ooh, okay. I don't know where I am now. Was this the door that was broken? So I guess the idea with that was to kind of show that this character, Andrew Ryan, really does not want to meet us, right? Like, talk about like a really bad like Tinder date, right? He just really does not want to talk to us at all. So he even goes as far as like blocking and like destroying his own door. But we're so smart, we're so sneaky. We went through this cleverly placed vent, very conveniently placed vent. Notice there's something really interesting with that vent too. There's actually a faint blue light you can see. Where's that light coming from? Nowhere, right? That's just in lighting we might call this like a fill light, where the goal is to just fill up this dark area with a very soft kind of faint light, so that the player can actually kind of see where they're going. But if we were to go up here, again, just notice there is no visible light fixture or light source here. There is no reason why we would be able to see here, but they do this here so that you can see all these pipes and stuff. That's what I'm assuming they did. Anyway, we're down here. And I would guess that the reason they oriented this vent like this was to kind of force you, like when you're up here, and then you come out of this vent, and you're facing this way, and then drop down, that kind of sets up the framing to have you look at this creepy serial killer collage. Except here they're also trying to like imply that there's a bunch of stuff you don't know about, and it's foreshadowing a lot of the storytelling, the big twist that's about to come. So notice they have all these papers. I really, really do like it when video games model out all these papers. Like it's really beautiful. Like, look at this. Like, look at all those little hand-placed little polygon strips. Really nice work here. Really detailed. Oh, someone was asking what the purple in the wireframe meant. The purple mesh? Huh, I don't know what that means. I would guess yellow means skeletal, like rigged mesh. Yeah, yellow is like a skeletal rigged mesh, but purple just means like a dynamic moving mesh. So not necessarily animated with like joints and bones, but still like dynamic, like you can turn it on and off and stuff. That's what I'm assuming it is. What else is going on? So there's some big environmental storytelling that BioShock pioneered. Well, not really, but you know, very common in Shock games to see would see big red writing on walls, and that's what we call environmental storytelling, everyone. What else is going on here? A bunch of notes. I like how the notes are detailed but still super nondescript, so you still don't really know what's, like, you don't really care about reading these papers. Yeah, remember Citadel, right? What else is going on here? There's a calendar. Australia Day is circled. I don't know why Australia Day is circled. That's interesting. If we listen to these audio logs, I imagine that would tell us a lot about what's going on. Oh, there's some interesting photos here, actually. Let's zoom in on some of these photos. So here, right here, there's like a photo. Oh, I think that's me. I think that's me throughout the game. Because in the background here, you see this Happy New Year 1959 sign. That's actually like from the first chapter. And I also know I'm wearing one of these big, chunky, like white, like fisherman sweaters. Because in the beginning of the game, we also see us wearing that sweater. Actually, in the view model, you can see me wearing that like white knit sweater at the bottom of the screen. So I guess that's me, and that's my face. Huh, I'm kind of a dreamboat, huh? And that's me holding a gun. God, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a dreamboat. Maybe I'm kind of creepy. I don't know. It's hard to tell. What else is going on here? Oh, and then there's like a whole family tree thing. Oh, and all these things are connected. So here, it's implied that this character, Andrew Ryan, I'll just shoot him a little bit so you can see. Andrew Ryan, that's the guy we're gonna meet. And this woman, who actually met in a previous chapter, she was like an incinerated corpse on a bed or something. He and her are connected and turned into me right here. That's me. I mean, this is where representation games gets kind of weird because I don't really identify with this guy at all. I don't know. But whatever. So this is all foreshadowing a bunch of stuff. Ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen. And a bunch of DNA stuff. Oh, what is all this DNA stuff? And then right here, really nice sign. One constant theme we've been encountering throughout BioShock has been the focus on signage, especially to... on the chat, people are saying I'm handsomer than my player character. Thank you. Your beautiful eyes are beautiful to me. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah, signage is super important in this game. And I would argue that it does tie into the theme of this game, especially because it's so much about, this is supposed to be this like capitalist utopia, and of course capitalism does rely on like advertising and signage and branding, so it would make sense that every character and personality of this game has their own branding and signage. But it is a little, but again, the flaw in relying on so much signage is that this is actually modeled out. Here you can see they actually modeled out all these characters. And it looks really nice on that sign. Ooh, and that sign is actually just a flat disc. Notice that. That's a really nice normal map. Whoever did that, good job. That's a really nice sculpt. But one problem with modeling out all these signs is that you can't localize it. Like this mesh is baked into the game. Unless you have the environment artist literally model out a different variant for every language you're targeting with your retail release, it doesn't really make that much sense. One cool thing that I think the new Deus Ex did was that the signs are all kind of dynamically generated, so that's kind of cool. They can localize a lot of it. What's going on here? Oh, there's like a vent here. Oh, I guess I can't go in this vent yet, though. But you're clearly not supposed to notice this vent yet, right? It's very dimly lit. It's in this dark corner, and also when you're walking here, like, it's kind of hidden behind this corner right here. We only notice this vent right here if I kind of slice the pie, and then I notice there's a vent right here. So this vent might come into play later in this sequence. So we'll see what happens.
The assassin has overcome
and
my
I put my gun away.
defense.
Why did
And
I put my
now
gun
he's
away?
come to murder me.
Oh.
In the end, what
playing golf.
separates a man
And now we finally
from a
meet
slave?
this character we've been talking to
Money?
the whole time.
Power? No. A man
It's a little disappointing that he's
chooses.
not looking at me, though.
A slave obeys.
I guess they don't have...
You think you
Maybe
have
the
me.
character choreography stuff in BioShock
Fine.
didn't have like a dynamic
Family.
look at kind of
An
function.
airplane.
Eye contact is important.
Crash. And then this place.
I guess that this was all just
Was
keyframe
there
hand
really
animated,
a
so they
family?
couldn't bake like a
Did
dynamic
that
look at
airplane
kind of
crash?
thing.
Or was it hijacked? Forced down. Forced down by something less than a man. Something bred to sleepwalk through life until they are activated by a
But, like,
simple phrase.
Okay, so some people in the chat are arguing it's a sign of
Kindly
disrespect
master.
that he's not looking at
Was a
you
man
because
sent to kill?
But
or
it's
a
like-
slave?
I don't
A
get that
man
feeling.
Chooses.
It's weird. There's a big glass
A
window here and he's
slave
not looking at
obeys.
us.
Come in.
Let's see what else is going on.
Stop, would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase.
So this is the big twist in BioShock.
Familiar phrase.
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly
So that's
head
been
to
our
Ryan's
the
office and
friendly
kill the son of a
NPC
bitch?
Atlas saying "would you kindly"
Sit.
over and over.
Would you kindly
And notice his accent actually kind of goes away
stand?
as we get closer to this moment.
Would you kindly run? Stop. Turn. A man chooses. A slave obeys. Kill.
It's kind of okay. So one criticism I have of this scene is that there's no point in making it a cutscene.
Man
Like the
chooses.
structure of the game already requires us to complete all the objectives. Like, if you're gonna make a commentary about how game design is about like forcing you to do terrible, violent acts or something, just let the game force you to do that. You don't need to have a cutscene like do this. I don't know. I think one game that does this kind of thing much better is Metal Gear Solid 3, where, spoiler, the end of Metal Gear Solid 3 has you kill someone, but the cutscene kind of just freezes until you press a button to kill that person. And I think that works really well. That works better. It's important for it to be interactive. It's important for us to have actually done it, I think. But maybe that was the original plan, and then maybe they did a lot of playtesting, and it turned out that didn't work out. I don't know. It's really hard to know and tell with some of these things. Again, like, usually if you have, like, a criticism of a AAA game, chances are the AAA developers also had that criticism of their own game, but decided that they couldn't accommodate it for whatever reason, or there was no time, or they got overruled, or whatever. Well, before we go on, let's walk around and look at some of this other stuff. This library thing is a little bit shabby, not super believable, I think. Like, this is obviously just a bookshelf prop that they kind of just copied and pasted kind of over and over. Kind of disappointing. You know, like, I wish they kind of modeled that a little bit better. Also, as I talked about previously in last week, I don't like this wall texture. It's kind of both too much structure and not enough structure for a wall. So it's kind of boring, I think. But overall, I like how they did this whole window scene. Like, it's nice, big, and chunky, and there's a lot of nice kind of framing going on. What else do I need to go? Okay, so now I need to walk over here. I want to play golf. Oh well. I need to walk over here. This was his desk? He barely touched his own desk. What else is going on here? Oh, this bust isn't really... This bust is kind of misaligned with the pedestal. It feels kind of awkward. But we just killed him. Oh well. Wait, did I loot his body? Oh well. Okay, so what I would have done is I would have had a cutscene. Actually, this is what interactive fiction parsers do really well too. When interactive fiction games or parser IF want you to force you to do something, they have this thing where you'll type something out, but no matter what key you type, it'll type out the same word. So I find that a more powerful moment than watching a cutscene or something like that. I don't feel complicit because the cutscene took my control away from me. So, meanwhile, if I'm still pressing buttons, it does feel like I'm complicit. I don't know. Okay, so I just ended this self-destruct. And now I'm locked in the room, and I have to listen to this guy talk.
Nice work, Bio.
Oh, I really like this prop. This is a nice prop. Really nice modeling on the windows too. Like notice how smooth it is. Look at all those polys.
There ain't no Atlas, kid. Never was. Selling my line of
Oh no, what's happening?
on a variety of aliases.
Really nice particle effect too. I like all the steam, like the steam jet. Nice. But seriously, this is like a good set piece model. It's like a little city diorama, but it's actually, but all the little windows are like little switchboard ports. I don't know. It's good.
Had a lot of business partners in my life.
Uh-oh, all the colors are changing.
Of course, the fact that you were genetically conditioned to bark like a cocker spaniel when I said, would you kindly, might have had something to do with it. But still, you know, as soon as that machine finishes processing the genetic key you just fished off Ryan, I'm gonna run Rapture tits to toes. You better, pal. You know what they say? Never mix business with friendship. Thanks for everything, kid.
Oh no,
Don't forget to say hi.
the sign
to
changed.
Ryan for me.
Now instead of Ryan Industries, it says Fontaine Futuristics. Oh my god. Oh no. Now we have to escape. Oh, now she's following. Now, is there a spotlight following her? There's literally a spotlight being cast on her, but I don't know where the spotlight's coming from. It's like the Fort Frolic mechanic, except even weirder. Wow, that's so weird. Why is there a spotlight on her? Wait, did BioShock have a physics engine? Isn't this like 2007? I think this is 2007. Yeah, I think BioShock would have had a physics engine by now.
He's mean.
Ooh, look at that animation. Wow. Their faces are kind of creepy. Children are creepy, but I guess they're supposed to be creepy. I don't know. Okay, let's keep going.
Who's he? Stay away from him.
I wish they would like react to you more. I don't know. Oh, I can't. I want to crawl in. Oh. Oh, okay. She opened the door for me. Wait, what? How did she open the door for me? There's no button or anything. Oh well. Okay, so now the objective is I have to.
You've got hooked up.
I have a new
with
friend,
Tannenbaum, huh, kid?
and this friend told me I have to
She's a
find an
regular
antidote.
Mother Goose.
And when I find the antidote,
Alright, fun's fun,
this evil
kid,
guy won't
but
be able to
now,
mind control me.
Go get stepped on by a big daddy. Would you kindly?
Repair the gate crank socket?
Huh? I says, would you kindly go get stepped on by a big daddy?
What a weird puzzle.
Ah, seems like Mother Goose has been playing around in your egg
I have to
salad.
go get a crank
If you won't dance
to open this and then hold it so I can open the...
Code yellow. I just told your brain.
I'm pretty sure this puzzle exists like solely just to delay you so that you can listen to this whole conversation. How strange. I do like the glow shader. It is a nice
Once you are free
shader.
of Fontaine's control, then you can have your revenge.
What's happening
And we
now?
can keep my little
Oh, do I now that I have my weapon back, do I have my cheats again? Yay, I do. Yay. What a weird puzzle though. That's almost like a non-puzzle. I mean, you wouldn't have wanted to use a long hallway to make sure I listened to that whole conversation, because then you would have had to decorate that hallway and put stuff in that hallway. Here it feels like I'm still doing something, but at least it's still like delaying me.
My lucky day. Like every other day.
Oh, where am I?
She didn't fit in there anyway. I don't care where she's gone.
Oh, why didn't he get shocked? Huh. Okay, so now we came out of that weird sewer or something. I guess every video game needs to have a sewer level. Huh, but is all of BioShock a sewer level though? Food for thought. Okay, again, I don't think you would have wanted a long hallway in that sewer setting, because then I really would have noticed that it was like a sewer level. There also might be a time where I have to backtrack to that location, so maybe they didn't want to have a long hallway, because then you might have to backtrack to that location or something. All the world's a sewer level, yes. Yeah, Billy Shakespeare said that. What's this? What is going on? Where am I?
No time to wait.
Oh, I like that. I wonder if that was scripted. So the Big Daddy was standing in between me and the turret, and I tricked the turret into shooting the Big Daddy, and then the Big Daddy killed that turret. So that's kind of like a nice merchant kind of thing, I guess. Let's see, what is going on? I don't know where I am. Olympus Heights. Oh god. Okay, I'm actually gonna maybe stop here, I think. And then maybe keep going next time. Thanks for tuning in this week. We got to experience the big climactic meeting of BioShock, and also make a new friend, and also get the big twist. So I hope that was enough for you. Sorry I have to cut it short. I'm actually already late for a meeting right now. I need to head out, but next week we'll be exploring Olympus Heights, whatever this is, and we'll I guess fight some more monsters and basically do what we've been doing for the past 8 hours or something. So see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out. Bye.